What up, what up, what up? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Zone 864 in the building. As y'all enter the chat, go on and hit that like button one time. Hit that subscribe button one time. Zone 864 TV in the building. I am Mr. Zone 864 himself. The late night king has returned. Live streaming out and about. Yeah. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button as y'all come into the live stream. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Not gonna be before y'all too long. But I thought I would come on and let me go ahead and turn on my let me go ahead and turn on that do not disturb right quick because every time I go live, seem like people want to get the call in, they want to get the text in, and y'all know Zone rarely goes live, so it got to be a coincidence when I go live. All of a sudden, people start calling, people start texting. Maybe they must feel the energy or something in the air. What's going on, B Turner? What's going on, man? Let's see what you're talking about. I don't know why the comments not showing. Let me see. Chicago has given melanated women in the hood a new weapon against their baby daddies whenever they can't get their way. Absolutely. Absolutely, B Turner. And I would even take that a step further and say that uh, Western culture, Black American culture, has allowed women, specifically black women, to be able to weaponize their children into a scapegoating out of a lot of these situations that they should be being held accountable for. Make sure you guys hit the like button as you enter the live stream. Hit that like button. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if it's in your heart. Yeah, because I barely go live. So I would appreciate it if y'all just hit that like button and hit that subscription button if it's in your heart. And also, if you wanna hit the super chat, go ahead and hit. I'm just playing. I ain't got no I ain't got no super chats on this channel. I'm not monetized. This channel is just for leisure. It's for commentary. But doesn't the moon look beautiful tonight? Doesn't the moon look beautiful out here on the lakefront? Out here on the lakefront, people, got their boats parked and everything like that. It's a beautiful night tonight. You know, still hot as hell though. Still like 99 degrees right now. So don't let the beautiful scenery fool you. Still hot as hell right now. But yeah, let me see. Brian Turner says, also understand also Chicago is a liberal city to the absolute core. They depend on single black mothers for votes. They understand fully what what holding that woman accountable would have done. This situation should also teach young, successful black men something. Hood melanated women and their kids are dangerous. Being a stepfather to them can and will get you hurt. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that, Brian Turner. This whole situation is I would like, so okay, let me speak on it from two sides, right? So I'm a tax-paying citizen. I'm self-employed. I have two daughters. I own a house. I own a vehicle. I've traveled all over this country. I've traveled internationally. So from a private citizen aspect, when it comes to this whole Chicago situation, it is completely oh nah, you good. So with this whole situation, it is like completely asinine, completely crazy, insane. Like how in 2023 is this happening, right? Like when you look at that video, it's like something that you would be seeing in like 1993, right? Like when I go about in my normal life, in my normal day, right? I would never, in the environment that I live in, I would never see anything like that. God willing, I would never see anything like that. I live in a pretty decent side of town. There's a lot of wealthy people, a lot of rich people, a lot of people that do well off in the side of town that I stay, right, which is Scottsdale, Arizona. So for me to walk in a restaurant and to see something like that is very far-fetched. Now, with that being said, I haven't always been in the position that I've been in life. Um, you know, I've lived in the hood before. Um, when I was growing up, I've seen how the hood operates. I've seen the debauchery. I've seen the hate. I've seen the plot. I've even partaken in the plot. I've seen the bullshit that goes on in the hood, right? And unfortunately, with this whole situation, with this 14-year-old boy, and you know, and this single black mother, unfortunately, that is everyday hood shit. And the reason that I've been very hesitant to talk about the situation is because, to me, it's like, I see a lot of people talking about it online, and so, I'm for me personally, even just talking about it right now, I'm exhausted. But I figured that I would just say a few words because, I just want to put it out there that, this is everyday hood behavior. Like niggas get killed every day, B. Like You know what I mean? It's like what more can you say? And unfortunately, what you're seeing on this tape, um, with this beta male, with the son husband, and with the single black mother, this is everyday shenanigans, everyday politics, right? And so the guy that got his life took, I definitely don't feel bad for him. He definitely earned his wings. He definitely was asking for what was coming his way. And as you guys enter the live stream, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Go ahead and hit that subscription button as well if it's in your heart. And go ahead and hit that super chat as well. I'm just playing. I'm not monetized. I don't have super chat yet. Maybe one day. Um, but but so it's three things, right? It's three things that you could take away from the situation. Number one, don't be a beta male, right? Like I know that we are in a society now where there's no fathers in the home. Like, well, actually, no, there's fathers in the home like that, but a lot of the fathers, like, they just don't have that backbone. You know what I mean? Like they don't like like I was out and about today, right? And I seen a father that had two daughters, and it's rainbow month or whatever like that, right? So and I saw this father, his babies had to be no more than probably about like maybe like 5 or 6, right? And why did he allow his babies to have on like rainbow skirts and shit like that? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of the fathers today, like when I was growing up, like in the 90s and everything, like there was a lot of fathers that were not there because of mass incarceration, um, you know, criminal activities, things like that. But a lot of us millennial fathers, a lot of us are there now. But the thing about it is because of the lack of missing fathers and missing male role models in our prime adolescent years, because that was not there for a lot of us. See, a lot of us are just playing by ear. A lot of us really don't know how to say yes, don't know how to say no, don't know how to sit down and and resolve and come to a conclusion and then come to a solution of how to fix problems. So that would be my biggest assessment in what fathers are missing today, particularly when it comes to the millennial and then the generation that's below me, Generation Z. So um, obviously from the beta male, from the dude, you know, who um, took it upon himself to raise his hand and 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 hit this lady over a plate of food, because I heard that she cut in line or something like that, whatever it was, right? I've been in public where I've been around people who, and I'm sure we all have, you know somebody's not in a good mood and they just come in the building, and then they just change the vibe of the environment, and next thing you know, it just changes everybody's vibe, right? So I've been in places, in public places, where you could just feel the energy shift when somebody walks in the room. They got a fucked up attitude, or you could just tell they about to be on some bullshit, right? So I know how to maneuver in this situation. And obviously, this man that took it upon himself to raise his hand and hit this lady in the face, obviously he was not in control of his emotions. You know, um, my guy Mr. Goodbread talks a lot about emotional intelligence. Now I've heard a few people, a few content creators say, "Oh, there's no such thing as emotional intelligence." Well, um, when you look at this situation, clearly there's a such thing called emotional intelligence. Because if this guy was smart enough to be like, look, this is a dumb bitch. You know, clearly she ain't got no home training. Clearly she's a single mother. Like, clearly she's just another hood booger bum bitch. You know, and for her to be 30, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. For her to be 35 and be built like a sack of laundry, she should be ashamed of herself. Like, you ain't even 40. Like, that's another thing too. Like, why are there so many black women that's like fat and out of shape? I don't get that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all want to sit here, y'all want to talk about dudes that don't that only make 30,000, 40,000. You know, oh, his car, oh, his shoes dusty. Well, a lot of you bitches need to put the spoon down. A lot of you bitches need to uh, you know, start, you know, getting on some shakes, some herbal shakes and shit, and and learn how to take care of yourself, because there's no reason that you should be 35 looking like a fucking running back in the NFL built like a sack of laundry. That shit is just like crazy to me. So it's crazy how fat and out of shape black women have become in this country. And I don't feel bad about saying that shit, because a lot of people, we live in a society now where people want to sugarcoat shit and they don't want to tell the truth about shit, and they always want to try to, you know, make shit not what it really is, when the fact of the matter is, you need to be telling motherfuckers the truth, because you gonna be, by you not telling the truth, you're not helping the person when you're not telling the truth. So when you see some fucked up bullshit, make sure that you tell the truth. Make sure that you tell the truth, even if it hurts the person's feelings. Fuck that person's feelings. So clearly, this guy that hit this woman in the face was not in control of his emotions. And when you're not in control of your emotions, you do dumb shit like hit people in the face that you ain't got no business hitting in the face. You know, 5 seconds of, you know, just being in your feelings. You know, maybe it was Father's Day and you didn't get to get your kids for Father's Day, or you dealing with some messed up shit from your baby mom, or you got fired from your job, or or you know, like maybe you just fell out with your homeboy because he fucked your bitch or whatever. Like, you got to be smart enough to rise above the dumb shit, because it's, unfortunately, it's people out here, all they want to do is they want to see you fail. And unfortunately, this brother definitely failed, because he couldn't keep his emotions intact. I've been in situations where I've had to bark on females before when they do some crazy dumb shit, because I'm just not going to allow any woman to just disrespect me. But at the same time, I've never thought of hitting a woman in the face, or doing a woman harm, unless I'm trying to actually defend myself. So like I said in the beginning of the live stream, I don't feel bad for bro. He got what he was asking for, and it is what it is. So any young men out there that you having trouble dealing with your emotions, or you're not making smart decisions, you might want to use that brother's life as an example, so that you make the right decision and you don't end up in a fucking meat bag over a bitch that's built like a sack of laundry out here, just perpetuating the negative stereotype and the cycle of the single black mother, especially in the city of Chicago. Next on my list, this little boy, this little 14-year-old boy, son husband. Now, not going to take anything away from him, because he did what was right. A crazy dirtbag ass nigga whose jeans was tight as fuck. Why the fuck do y'all be wearing, how the fuck do y'all pants be so fucking tight? Like, I don't get that shit. Like how the fuck is your nuts breathing and shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that shit. This nigga pants was so tight, like Shit crazy, man. You niggas in these tight ass pants nowadays. I swear, man. That's one thing about my era. You know what I mean? At least we had sense enough to wear some baggy shit to let the airflow get to where it's supposed to go, right? But that's neither here nor there. So with the son, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. The only thing that I will say about the son is that I really I heard that Nicki Minaj offered to pay for this young man's college, right? For him to go to school. And that's great. That's absolutely great. I hope that this young man gets as far away from his mother as possible because clearly his mother is turning him into her personal attack dog. So he can I hope that he hears a lot of this stuff that's going on YouTube. Like I hope that he hears a lot of the commentary. I hope that he hears a lot of the opinions of the public. I hope that he hears a lot of the commentary from these men, from these content creators that have been talking about this issue, uh, talking about the issues of, first she was charged and then not charged. He should be in jail. He shouldn't be in jail. I hope that he's tapped in to this information, and I hope that somehow, some kind of way, that he gets around some real dudes, some real solid dudes, and taps in with them, because this little boy is lost at the end of the day. At the end of the day, there's no reason that that 14-year-old boy should have had a firearm. There's no reason that he should have even been put in that situation. So I don't really have too much to say about the young boy because he's only 14 and he's a minor, and it's not like you know it's not like I could just really go in on him like that because he's under the orders of his mother, right? So if there's any young men who happen to stumble across this video, just be careful, especially if you're in a single mother household. Be careful, because being a son husband could really mess you up, right? Men, we supposed to be raised to be leaders. We supposed to be the leaders and the protectors of society. We're not out here to be son husbands and to take orders from chicks and shit like that. Nah, that's not what we here to do. Now some of us that are too weak to actually do some of this shit, yeah, you might need to be a son husband. You might need a bitch to be barking at you, telling you something to do, since you don't have the proper masculinity in you to run your life. So maybe you might need to go and take orders from a bitch, since you're not masculine enough to live your own life and to be out here being a leader and to be fixing shit when it's wrong, because that eventually, that's what we do. That's what we do. So that's all I got to say about the young boy. I just hope that he gets around some real solid individuals, some solid leadership, and I hope that he gets his head in the right direction, so that he's not out here being a son husband for the rest of his fucking life. The last thing I want to say about the mother is, I think that a lot of these, I think that the example that she portrayed, the example that she showed, is basically the problem of what's going on with black women today. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about all black women, but I'm talking about a majority of black women. You bitches don't know when to shut the fuck up. You bitches don't know when to shut the fuck up so bad that you'll literally put everybody's fucking life in danger, including your own children, simply because you don't know how to shut the fuck up and preserve life and de-escalate the situation. That bitch should have shut her fucking mouth when he told her, when he said, get your food and go. But the bitch wanted to sit there and run off and pop her mouth instead of taking orders from this crazy ass nigga. What's going on, Killer Kawabo? This bitch wanted to sit here and bark at this crazy ass nigga that told her to get her plate and go. So therefore, bitch, go ahead and take these blows because your funky bonnet, laundry sack, running back built, having ass don't know how to shut the fuck up and protect your life and protect your sunlight. So no, he didn't have any business hitting this bitch in the face, but at the same time, she deserved what she got because she didn't know how to shut the fuck up. I'm 5'11", 185 pounds. It's plenty niggas out here that's bigger than me. I done been toe to toe with niggas that's bigger than me. Well, I know I didn't have the advantage. Well, I didn't have the strap on me. Where they had to drop on me. I'm 5'11", 185 pounds, and you know what I did? That's not a fight that I chose. I chose to live another day. I done been in situations. This is me as a man talking. So if I decide to go ahead and squabble with a nigga, when this nigga is over here 6'3", 6'4", 220 pounds, yeah, I got muscles. Zone got muscles. Yeah. Look at that. I got muscles. I'm not no little ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like I could lay a nigga out if I need to, but at the same time, I know how to pick my battles wisely. I know how to, you know what I mean? It's more than just me on this planet. It's more, I'm responsible for more than just me. And that's the problem with a lot of these bitches today, is that they're so delusional that they don't understand that, first of all, bitch, you're a single mother. You're already living out of the will of God. You're already living out of the order of God. It's supposed to be God, man, woman, child. So when you are up against a man, you fighting the hierarchy. You already fighting the order. You out of order, bitch. You are out of order. You are out of order. This whole situation came on you because you're out of order. Notice that a lot of these crazy ass situations that happen with these single mothers and these son husbands, notice that it always happens because they are out of order. And typically when these women are married or they got a significant other, and I'm talking about a man, I'm not talking about no woman and woman carpet licking shit. I'm talking about a man with a woman. Notice when the woman has the proper guidance and the right provision, this shit don't be happening like that. First of all, bitch, why are you out at 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. getting food with your kid? You should be cooking. You should be cooking food at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. You should be showing your son how to cook. You should be showing your son how to cook. Like if you want to keep it real, since you already got a son husband, you might as well teach the little nigga how to cook. So that way, when you come from your job and shit, and you tired and shit, and you don't want to cook and shit, at least the little nigga can cook for you. At least the little nigga can work on his culinary skills and shit. So you won't have to be out here running to the local neighborhood Mexican spot at 11 p.m. in the city of Chicago, where it's already fucked up because we keep hearing about some shit that keep happening every other week in the city of Chicago. And that's why I said I wasn't even going to talk about this shit, because everybody and their mama on YouTube talking about this shit. Everybody on Instagram and Twitter talking about this shit. So I ain't really give a fuck to talk about this shit, because this shit that happened with this young boy and this mother and this dead ass nigga, this is regular hood shit. And this shit happened every fucking day. Every fucking day. And the only way to fix this shit is for people to be families again. Like I just put on my YouTube community post and on my Twitter. I don't want to hear about no fucking problems in the hood because y'all motherfuckers choose to stay there. If you choose to stay there, I don't want to hear about that shit. How am I 34? How am I 34? Already got a I got my house in 2017, and even though I'm not living in my house right now because I gave that to my baby mama, uh, I done did a lot of shit by the age of 34. I'm about to be. Well, I might get another house, but it just depends on how the market is and shit like that. But how am I able to do the shit that I'm supposed to be doing at the age of 34, protecting my family, uh, making sure that I'm out here being a law-abiding citizen? What's so hard about that? How am I able to do the shit that how am I able to travel the country and travel nationally and internationally and be self-employed? Like how am I able to do all of this shit by the age of 34? Meanwhile, you got a bunch of ignorant ass niggas that choose to live in the hood, that choose to subject themselves to the dumb shit that happens in the hood, to the plotting, to the robbing, to the killing, to the dealing with single mothers, to the dealing with these straggles in there that got STDs, dealing with other niggas who, just ain't shit and always asking you for money. And you got to worry about niggas pissing in the hallways, and motherfuckers fucking with your car and shit, and worry about niggas running up in your crib and shit when you sleep and shit. You know what I mean? You bring a bitch over and people see you in the parking lot. People see you bring a bitch, so they gonna try to plot and rob you and your bitch when y'all in the house, man. Who want to live in a fucking environment like that? What's going on, DeBell? Who want to live in an environment like that? Because I sure the fuck don't. So that's why it's been a couple people that told me, hey man, go live and talk about this shit. But see, the thing is, I don't be giving a fuck to talk about this kind of shit because this shit is it's regular. It's everyday shit. Even every time, like, look, for most of y'all that don't know my story, I was raised by my grandparents, and and my mom had me on the weekends. My grandparents lived in the suburbs. My mom lived in the hood. So even when I would be with my mom on the weekends, every time I would go to my mom, I would always hate going. I would always hate going to be with my mom. You know why? Because there would always be some dumb hood shit happening. Some nigga getting stomped out in the middle of the street, or, the little niggas that live in the hood, they know you live with your grandparents and they be waiting on you to come back to the hood on the weekends so they can test you just because, they think you a soft ass nigga just because you live in the suburbs and shit. You always having to prove yourself and shit. You always having to prove you ain't no soft ass nigga and shit. I done had to deal with that shit. That does not interest me. That's why I don't even be on YouTube and shit like that. Like this shit, the content creation it was cool. You know what I mean? Like I did this shit before YouTube, years on Facebook. Years on Facebook. I was doing content creation and videos. You know what I mean? And it's cool. But now my priorities in life have shifted. So when shit be happening, when you see some shit like a crazy ass nigga hit a single mother black funky sack of laundry running back built ass bitch upside the head because she in at the food spot at 11:30 p.m. That shit don't faze me. Like I told my homie Mr. Goodbread the other day. I told him, I said I will be surprised if something else. I'll be surprised if something else tops this. I don't see nothing else this year. Now, granted, something else could always happen. Something crazy could always happen. But I don't see nothing topping this. This shit is crazy. Did y'all see this soft ass, beta ass male nigga in the video over there moving his head and moving his arms and doing all this sassy ass shit? Like, nigga, who raised you? Why the fuck do you even see? Look, if it's one thing, this is what I tell people, right? This is what I tell people. I've had to put in the work. I don't have much. I really don't. Like, But the little that I have for, I worked for. You know, and freedom is a lot to me. So I tell people all the time, you know, if you think that you're gonna do something crazy around me, and you think that I'm gonna partake in whatever crazy nonsense you got going on, you got another fucking thing coming. Cause I care about my freedom. I gotta be out here to raise my kids. I gotta be out here to be able to take care of my family. I gotta be out here to make shit that happen. And even though me and my mother have a weird relationship, I know that I have to be out here to make sure that shit goes right with her as well. Right? I know that I have responsibilities. I know that I have obligations that I have to fulfill. So it's always every time I see some shit, man, like I just be like, well, that's the life they chose. They chose to stay there. They chose to stay there. And you know what's funny, man? You know what's funny is, um, you know, I'm at a weird place in my life personally, where, like I just said, me and my mother, we don't have the best relationship. We don't. Cause she didn't raise me, right? So you can't expect a child that you didn't raise to, you know, just you can't expect a child that you didn't raise to just, you know, have this outpouring of love for you. I love my mother, but you know, my grandparents, they raised me. You know what I mean? They took me to school, they picked me up. You know what I mean? They fed me, they clothed me, they protected me. You know, they made sure that I made it to adulthood. Now, my mother, I give her some of the credit, and my stepfather too. I give him the credit. They stepped in and they did their part in my later teenage years when it was time, right? But I'm at a time in I'm at a place in my life where I realized the past was the past. and and look, y'all, this is gonna sound crazy because I know that in these spaces online, you know, we we go hard on our mothers, you know, we go hard on these women. We do. Rightfully so, rightfully earned. But I'm coming to a place, and even as a parent myself, I know that I'm not perfect. I just fell out with my own daughter a few months ago. And that shit was crazy because that was the first time that happened. But what that showed me is that, you know, sometimes, you know, you gotta take the L. You gotta take the L to set the example and show how shit is really be done. Cause I'm in a place now where I'm just like, you know, people did the best that they could. You know, the reason that my mother let my grandparents have me is because she was 18 in high school. She wasn't prepared to raise no kid. And my father was on his way to college. He wasn't prepared to have no kid. So what I found myself realizing in that situation was they did the best that they could. Like that was the best possible option. Because if that didn't happen, I look, if that did not happen, I assure you, the nigga with the dreads, I would have been him. The little 14-year-old boy with the pistol, I would have been him. I assure you that if my mother and father did not make the decision to allow my grandparents to raise me, and if my grandparents, um, if they didn't, you know, accept the responsibility of raising me, I assure you I would have been like one of those gentlemen, one of those men in that video. So so as I reflect on my life and I think about my own trials and tribulations, what I find myself doing is realizing that people are not perfect, even if they're your parents, even if they're your mother and father, even if your mother is a hell of a mother. Shout out to Mr. Goodbread. She did the best that she could. And so I find myself reflecting on that every single day, trying to get to some path of some type of you know, maybe letting some resentment go, maybe trying to come from a little bit of trying to you know, be a little bit more forgiving, because I realize that we're only humans and we can only do the best that we could possibly do. So so that's where I'm at in my life, is I just find myself, even certain motherfuckers that I know is full of shit, right? That I done had business dealings with, or, you know, fell out with over some dumb shit. You know, I be realizing, I'm like, yo, they not perfect. Maybe the shit that they did, that was the only way that they knew. So so I find myself just reflecting on all that shit, right? But the shit that we saw that happened on that tape, that unfortunately, that's a lot of, that's the shit that black people like. They like that shit. They want to be a part of that. They want to be part of that. I'm standing here right now. It's late as hell, and I'm doing a live stream on YouTube because I choose to be in a nice, peaceful, calm area. Got the moon in the background right there looking beautiful, right? I'm standing here right now, 34-year-old grown man in a nice, calm, peaceful area doing a live stream on YouTube. Please make sure y'all hit that like button and hit that subscription button as well if it's in your heart, because it's what I want to do. I'm not standing in the middle of some ghetto where people is shooting and uh, police is riding around with the sirens on. I'm not doing that, because that's not, I don't want to be in that environment. I want to be in a peaceful environment where I can talk to y'all, where I can say a few words with y'all, you know, where I can vibe with y'all for a few minutes. You know what I mean? This is what I'm choosing to do. But then you have people like in that video where the shorty went in there at 11:30 at night to get some food in Chicago. And her 14-year-old son has a firearm, which he has no business having. And then you got this nigga with the dreads in there, clearly upset about something that's going on in his life. So, and clearly, he was, like I said, he was not intact with his, in control of his emotions. Because if he was, he wouldn't have hit the bitch. Shouldn't be out here hitting bitches unless you're trying to defend your life. That I'm not choosing to be. They're choosing. That young lady is 35 years young. She's a millennial. Millennials know better. We know better. We like the first real generation to be born with an Xbox or a PlayStation controller in our hand. We didn't have the same struggles that the Gen X and the Boomers had. The Boomers put in their work, and the Gen Xers put in their work. We didn't have them same struggles. We don't have to live in the hood today. You see, a lot of the Gen Xers had to live in the hood because the boomers, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the boomers, now obviously this ain't all, but a lot of the boomers, all they wanted to do was smoke and get high, party and get high. A lot of the boomers actually had houses and shit, actually had properties and shit that they were given by their parents. The boomers were like the first real generation to inherit some type of wealth. But what happened to that? They lost it. They lost it all. You know what I mean? Never taught their children about inheritance. So when the house got passed down, you know, house got lost and shit like that. But I'm here to tell you, as a millennial, shouldn't no millennial be complaining, because we got technology at the palm of our hand. You know what I'm saying? We got technology at the palm of our hand, and we got all the opportunity in the world. You don't even look. You don't even have to have a job. You don't even have to have a job today to make money. You don't even have to have a job. You don't have to have you don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have a bunch of experience in the workplace. Today is the easiest time in the history of this nation to get some type of success. And I'm not talking about Hollywood success, being on TV. Fuck all that shit. I'm talking about getting some legal money, raising your kids. I'm talking about having families. I'm talking about being in nice neighborhoods. I'm talking about uh, fraternizing with other people of like minds that also want to raise families and shit, leave something for their kids to have. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of success that I'm talking about. People don't even see that as success anymore because everybody's caught up on Instagram and the flashy cars and the jewelry and all that fake bullshit. Your favorite rapper is not as rich as you really think they are. Probably not even rich. Yeah. But that mother, she was 35. She is 35. She choosing to be in that environment. She's a millennial like me. She a year older than me. Why is she in that neighborhood in Chicago with a 14-year-old son? You can't tell me she don't know any better. But then again, maybe she don't. Because she did sit there and run her mouth to a nigga that told her to get her food and go. Otherwise, he was going to knock the shit out of her. And that's exactly what she did. And now, should he have hit her? No. But the bitch kept running her mouth like a stupid bitch. Like a lot of these stupid bitches do. A lot of these bitches, they don't know how to control themselves. My bad, y'all. I'm making sure niggas ain't acting crazy. A lot of these bitches don't know how to, control their mouth. But hey, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You can find me on IG, Zone864TV. You can find me on Twitter, Zone864TV as well, man. But yeah, man, that's really all I got to say about the situation, man. You know what I mean? Don't be a beta male. Don't be a son husband. And for you ladies out there that, either you don't have kids yet or maybe you do have kids or whatever, don't be a baby mama terrorist. Do not be a baby mama terrorist, right? God, man, woman, child. That's the natural order of things. That's how it's supposed to be. All right? Damn shadow keep getting in the way. Beta males, son husbands, baby mama terrorists. Don't mix. In the words of my big homie, Mr. Palmer, I'm Zone, and this conversation is over. Peace.